So what we have here is a kind of interesting little titanium part, and it starts off as a lathe blank, and then we do some milling to it, and then we flip it over on a fixture, and then we do some more milling to it, just a little notch. And what's critical about this part the most is the blend between the bore turned on the lathe and that little part machined on the machining center. So we've got a bunch of tolerance stack-ups. There's the height of the lathe part, and then the machining on one side, and then the machining on the other side, which all stacks up and makes it difficult to hold that blend. So in order to get rid of the thermal cycling and just, a machine being 12 years old, we do some spindle probing. And one really cool thing that the Spindle Pro can do is it can actually check to make sure that the part is loaded properly by the operator. And so right here what you can see it's doing is it's actually taking and it's making a bunch of measurements to make sure that the part has been loaded properly. And then after that it's going to probe in the center of the part, which again, we probed it to check for flatness and reset the Z0, which accounts for the thermal cycling in the Z, and then we reprobe the the boss to find the center of it. And the other nice advantage of this too is because the part is being held in a vise, any variation in the OD of the part is going to vary where the y-axis is, and by probing it in every time, we can load it in a vise and we can have everything line up perfectly. The creaking noise that you hear in the background is a big oscillating fan. So in order to keep that blend perfect, we're actually setting the Z0 to the bottom of the bore turned on the lathe. And what we're also doing is we're mapping the surface out. As you can see, we're probing in two other places, and the program has variables in it. And so the program, when the finishing tool's cutting that surface, it actually moves up and down in the Z to essentially match the surface of the bottom of the bore. And again, this would be quite difficult to hold a really tight blend tolerance on here because of the way the tolerances are stacking up. However, with the probe, it's not a problem. And as you can see here with the indicator, it's moving, just a couple of tenths as I'm moving it back and forth and across the blend. So and we're able to hold a 100-piece order this precisely very easily.